Hi, my name is Kim. We're going to do some stretches for our shoulders today. So if your shoulders are tight or you just feel like some good stretches, we'll go ahead and get started in our child's pose. So bringing our hips back, letting your forehead relax in a comfortable place on the mat. See if those fingertips want to take a little tiny baby step away from the body if that deepens the stretch. If not, we can have those elbows soft, and let's stay for a couple of breaths. And making our way into our puppy's pose, we're going to take up a little bit more space. So leaving our hips in the air, walking those hands out, bringing the forehead back down to where it feels comfortable, and having those arms extend ahead of us. So we're thinking about the shoulders, stretching through the shoulders. If those fingertips need to take that little tiny little inch away, half an inch away, or not so much. And from here, let's take that left arm under the right arm with that left palm facing up. So we're going to be on the side of the skull. And if you would like, you could shift the weight to that left side. And we could use that right foot for a little kickstand, a little balance. Let's make our way back to center and switch sides. And back to center, extending those arms ahead of us. And we can rest on our forehead, or we can melt our heart and rest on the chin. Let's come forward to our belly for some Cobra options. Baby Cobra, those hands come underneath the shoulders, and it's as if we took a shoulder roll, because those shoulder blades need to be down and on the back to get the most out of this stretch. And the elbows are not kind of flopping out, relaxed. They're engaged and they're pointed towards that back wall. And the height, if we wanted to lift our hands off of the ground, it wouldn't stress our back out. So that is that correct height for Baby Cobra. Opening the shoulders, the chest, and getting a nice stretch for our back. We could come to the forearms if we like that stretch better. It all depends on the day, what we got going on in our lives. So just make sure you tune into you and see what you need. And Cobra, bringing those hands by those top ribs, helping ourselves up a little higher, but keeping that soft bend in the elbows. We still are opening the chest, shoulders, and lengthening the spine, getting that stretch for the back. And slowly helping ourselves back down to the mat. We're going to take those hands out to the side on the fingertips, just where it feels like we're balanced. And keeping the neck in line with the spine. Take those shoulders side to side. See if that height of the shoulders can stay even side to side. So the elbows will be up in the air slightly. And let's come back to center and take a break. Just place those palms on top of each other. And we're going to rest our head on the back of our hands. Bring ourselves back up to those fingertips. Just again where it feels balanced, where we can place a little bit of pressure through the fingertips. But this time we're gonna open that right shoulder a little bit and see if that left shoulder wants to dip towards the mat. And when you're ready, change sides, dipping that right shoulder towards the mat, opening up that left shoulder a little bit. And we're gonna do a couple of these at your pace. Making your way back to center, no rush, and take that break. Palms on top of each other, resting our head on the back of our hands. Slowly bringing those hands out to the side, like a little letter T. And then rolling, I'm gonna go to my left side first, so I'm gonna use that right hand to just kind of help with a little bit of leverage, a little bit of balance. Rolling to that left side, back to, if it's a quarter of an inch, wherever we start to feel that stretch, that's where we wanna be. You could even take that stretch so both feet are on the ground, using that right hand for support, but no need to overstretch. That just causes tension in the body, and we definitely don't want to do that. That's not fun. So find that stretch where you can be for a couple of breaths. We're going to make our way back to our mat. Right arm out to the side, letter T, and using that left hand as a little balance, a little leverage. Start to find that stretch on that right shoulder. And let's make our way back to our mat. Helping ourselves up with our hands, coming to seated. And I'm going to turn around backwards because we're going to do some stretches for our shoulders behind it, with our hands behind our backs. So here for our shoulders, we could take that shoulder roll, if that's plenty. We could find the waists with our hands. Start to play. Maybe the fingertips want to come toward each other. Then we start to see if the wrists, forearms, elbows. Maybe we find prayer hands. And unwinding, we're going to keep those hands in back of us, interlace those fingers, and see if those hands want to come away from the lower back. If they don't, that's perfectly wonderful. If that is a stretch down here, we don't need to take that any further. Only if that feels like a happy, good stretch. Fingers away from the lower back. And unwinding and staying seated, I'm going to turn around here to the front, eagle binding our arms. So taking that left elbow, right elbow, in the right elbow in the crook of the left elbow, we're going to start to play. Okay, so elbows a little bit lower is a stretch, but it's going to get a little deeper if the elbows come up in line with the shoulders. And if the palms are apart from each other, that is also great stretch. A little deeper, palms will find each other. We could be here. We could round through the back without collapsing the elbows to the chest. And sometimes people like to take little windshield wipers back and forth with their arms, either rounded forward or with a straight spine. And let's change sides. Crook of that right elbow with the left elbow. Unwinding. Let's take a seated twist to the right, and we're going to start that seated twist from the lower belly because we can take that a little bit deeper from the lower belly, but we're going to definitely use help from that leg to help twist from the lower belly and the shoulder that's in back, my right shoulder. See if that shoulder wants to lay back a little bit, and our eyes can be to the side. Our eyes can go to the back. If it feels okay, that right hand can reach around and find that left leg. And let's inhale back to center. On your exhale, do that same twist on the other side. It's a little help from that leg. Lower belly was where that starts. Check in with that left shoulder. If it wants to start to lay back, or have that left hand wrap around and find that right leg. And winding back to center. Let's take a couple of shoulder rolls. A couple of nice, good breaths. And thanks for stretching today. I will see you next time. Namaste.